Virgo, I did your reading and I fucking deleted it. It wasn't an accident. Listen, you or your boo is bumping Mark Morrison, Return of the Mack. Now, couple things here. This is how someone retaliates when their heart is hurt by you. This could be some activity that you do. Pull out that little black book when they don't want to act right, or they are like, well, she ain't giving me attention, or he ain't giving me attention, so I'm gonna bring the Mac back out. Because if a person's supposed to love me and I would do anything for them, why would they switch up on me, or why would they change? Change can be a good thing. So you have to know what you're attached to when it comes to other people and what they're attached to you for. And sometimes it's evident and sometimes it's not. Okay, the reason why I deleted the video was because it was really accusatory. And that's not where I want to take the message. Return to the Mac. When it comes to you reinvigorating your glow, it should be because you're seeing certain parts of yourself that, you may have lost by devoting so much time to someone, and you want to reestablish who the fuck you are. So if that means you want to, and this is more, well, it doesn't matter the gender. A lot of times when people want to feel, when people want to feel more, when they want to feel better or they want to feel attractive again, they'll test their attractability from the opposite sex. Am I still, was it my looks, or was it this, or was it that? Whatever made a person retract from you or you from them, they're questioning if it was love at all. And it's like, okay, well, if this person loved me, they wouldn't have hurt me like this. They wouldn't have left me hanging like this. They wouldn't have XYZ like this. This can also be past patterns where the tendency to rebound or bounce back or glow up. It's like if you're glowing up after there was something about your shine that was dull. And what influenced that though? Did you neglect something while you were? Do you feel like you were neglecting something, or you were letting something go by the wayside while you were interacting with this motherfucker? I'm also another reason why I deleted the video is because I feel like Return of the Mac was an influence that was around before you even got with this person, or before they even got with you. This is learned behavior that was picked up. So this could be influenced by upbringing. If they were brought up by people who bounce from person to person to person, multiple marriages, multiple kids' fathers, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? This is a learned behavior. Or just having plenty options and like, well, the one I want doesn't give me the attention or the love I want. I'm just going to give it, I'm going to get it from whomever wants to give it to me. That's not the safest thing to do. But I understand. I know people do stuff like that. And it's like they want to make sure they still got it. Like, can't nothing hurt me if I'm always in a position of being admired and my ego is being stroked, or I'm getting this attention. This will lessen the blow of how much this heartache hurts, but it's in spite of the heartache that is being done. That's already a conflict in vibration. And when you're doing something in acceptance of, you're going through the experience and you're actually getting to the other side, and then you ascend through it. That's the glow up stage. But when you're doing something in spite of, your glow is primarily attributed to the hurt and pain that you've been in. So even the glow of it has remnants of the stain, of the hurt, of the pain. So the motivation is different. Dude was hurt like a motherfucker. I've never heard anything else from him. I don't know if he was a one-hit wonder or whatever, but he got his time in the limelight with that song, and it still reigns now, where people really do like that. They really like that song, and it come almost ascribes to the feeling of being single again, but not wanting to be single again, or being let go of and not wanting to be let go of. So, like I said, this could be attributed to a situation that had nothing to do with you, but yet you may have been in this Mack attack, this Mack return. You could have been a bystander in someone else's karmic relationship that was on the outskirts, where somebody had gotten hurt and actually brought you into a situation. You didn't know they were macking, but this is what their influence was for um, being with you, if that makes sense. Okay, the fuck. All right. I am glad I did this reading again, because that first message was like, it was like there was no winner. It was just like I said, it was accusatory. And I don't like relaying messages like that, because somebody always gonna end up feeling attacked. Um, and the person I'm reading for, the sign I'm reading for, you're never safe. If I see some shit and I know that it's something that needs to be amended, I'm gonna confront your ass. That's just what's gonna happen. But what I'm seeing, we have change, number 5, karmic completion, number 10, and 27, spiritual partnership. Now, this is where things get interesting, because the karmic completion that influenced the return of the Mack energy has only now happened. It could have been at a 9 for a long time, where it was really the end of the cycle, but it was never signed, sealed, delivered, completed. This could be figurative, where two people are finally at their wits' end, and they've already healed it and moved on from it, and now the physical action is actually taking place. Like, they can accept newness now. There has been that change, but you can stay in a cycle of 9 for a very long time. Just because the years are going by doesn't mean that you're ascending with it. You can be stuck in a particular vibration. There was a lot of conflict, because it was change after change after change after change that had to happen with the ending, the wit's end, that final straw. Like, when that final straw breaks the camel's back, it's not abrupt. It's like it's been being weighed on for so long, and then when that straw, I mean, it does snap, but it has been slowly, like hairline fracture, for a very long time. So finally, it's kaput, and there's no way to put it back in place. There's no way Humpty Dumpty can get put back together again. That era of the Mack is dead. That's the change. I, in the first video, was describing the back and forth of two people. And then I realized, you're on the periphery. You're not even in it. What you're in and about to be in is spiritual partnership, parenting. These are both 9s. This was underneath. And I spoke on it being maybe a person's parent, like, influencing this, like a mother, a father, whatever. Like, they have to live out the cycle of the parent, or something like that. It's a karmic completion, not just with a physical person, but also the DNA imprint of another person. So if your parent was whatever age they are, or just completed, if the parent was that age or around that age when they had that child. Okay, let me break it down. If a person was 20, 22, 23 and had a child, and their partner, spouse, whatever, was around that same age, around that time, that year, The DNA itself has an imprint, and it has information. It's accessed chronologically, biologically, and environmentally. So when a person reaches that age that their parents were, the DNA up until that point has the energy signature of the parents' memory, like muscle memory and life and living up until that point. Once they pass that age, they have outlived the imprint of the parent. And now they're in their late 20s, early 30s, late 40s, whatever. Shit. Thank you. Thank you. And bless me. So, okay. All right. They're like, okay, you're on the right track. Keep going. Okay. Okay. So, you have outlived your parents' DNA signature, muscle memory up until that point. And now, when you're in those ages that you've never been before, that your parents had not been yet when they had you, you're on your own track and your vibration and trajectory, right? So if you implemented something, say it's 10 years ago, and you're now 27, 37, 33, whatever, 10 years ago, a decade ago, there was something that you began that is just, and it could be more than 10, because like I said, this stage of stagnation at the 9 stage, which spiritual partnership began in a 9 stage, 2 plus 7 is 9. It could not come to fruition, especially with the parenting influence, because the karmic completion had not yet happened. Okay, so this was a lot of conflict and a lot of, this is, you have 9, 5, and then we have a 10. So the conflict came as the ending was occurring. This is that return of the Mack stage playing out like on repeat during this cycle, because it was being done in spite of another person. And while that was happening, while a person was bucking on the system, spiritual partnership came into play. Okay? This changed abruptly the cycle of the Mack to the point where, in order to, like, the past and the past and the future can't exist at the same time. They can, but what I'm saying is, in this dimension that you're living, you can't be in the past and then be in the future at the same time. You can be in the present and reference the past, and you can be in the present and reference the future. But when you're split and you're in the present, when you're in the past and the future, you're not in the present at all. So you can see what you want coming forward, moving forward, and you can see where you've been in the past, but there's no acknowledgement of the present and what's happening in the present. So the spiritual partnership is here. If somebody's so consumed with the straw that broke the camel's back that the spiritual partnership is stagnating with the Humpty Dumpty shit going on at the same time. And it's like they all in the same neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? But this can't be acknowledged because the eyes are like crossed. They're in 2 different directions, so they can't see straight in front of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. So this karmic completion is happening. And the thing is, this person is in a void. The return of the Mack, okay, well, the music has stopped playing. The record unscratched. It's like, this is gray. And now it's like, okay, what makes me stable though? Because this thing is no longer fueling me. It's no longer driving me. It's no longer on my Mack shit. Because that was only influenced because a person did X, Y, and Z. Right? It had a lot to do with their parents' beliefs, their parents' desires, the other person's parents' beliefs and parents' desires and parents' habits and whatever. 2 people, for whatever reason, could just not get that shit together. All right? So spiritual partnership is here. Cool. But it's a body, mind, spirit connection. I have a 7 and I have a 2. This is sacral and this is crown. Body and spirit is here. But the third eye, when dealing with Reiki and the chakras and energy, is the third eye is always going to be a focal point, even if that's not the chakra you're working on. You have to use the third eye for everything, um, especially when it relates to any kind of healing or ascension, because you do have to perceive it. You do have to um, see it through the eyes of God. You know what I'm saying? This is how you register certain things. The change. I'm just getting to the cards because the Mack shit really wanted to come out the first time around. And I'm like, all right, but that's a repellent. But the lesson of that song is, for Virgo especially, you have attracted people like this for a very long time. Remember when I did the reading for y'all last time and I said that you have the siren energy, but you don't use it outwardly? And people think you're prudish, but they're attracted to the siren energy that you have within. And it only is when you feel safe with a person that you can bring it out of you, like you can access it. That's what I'm talking about with the body, the the body, mind, and spirit connection. It has to be all like total in order for you to access the total, you know what I'm saying, girth of you, both vixen and virgin. You know what I'm saying? So that Mac shit is a repellent to you. You can't get close to it. You can't embrace it. There's so much resistance with that type of energy, and a person knows that, and this is what influenced the change so that the karmic completion could happen. It was at a 9 where you two resonated. They were at 9 where it comes to the end, never to begin again type of cycle. You were in a 9 vibration with them that leads more to the altruistic nature, the compassion for humanity, humility, just like that type of spirit, like Aquarian energy. Okay, this is other. This is thinking about other people, considering other people, their needs, their, security, their safety, but more so like just having that sense of compassion. So in doing that, they saw 2 separate visions at once: the past, return of the Mac, and the future, which is yet to be determined. This sparked change. Even in the Hierophant, there's 2 people sitting in front of this archetype. And there has to be some type of mediation in order for a resolution to be made. There has to be an agreement on what's being taught for 2 people to move to the next lesson, to the next grade even. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they were being privately tutored through your spiritual knowing, through your spiritual gifts, what have you. Just your influence, your energetic influence that took them. They literally went to rock bottom. They had to, because that karmic completion had to be demolished. It had to be completely leveled out in order for anything else to be built, in order for them to trailblaze, really, to get to the next leg of their journey. Spiritual partnership is here. It's resonating. It's like it's glowing. And that's the difference between Return of the Mac type of glow up and, you know what I'm saying, it's getting high off of the attention. When a person that you thought you wanted attention from or thought you shared, a very strong love bond with is no longer, you're starting to see, okay, well, damn, it couldn't have been love if it's ending like this, or if they're treating me like this, then where's that love that they're supposed to be having for me? Like, I must need to turn my shit back on because they must have forgot who the fuck I was. That influence is something that you repel, right? So they had to come at you different. They had to approach you different. Their intention was to use the Mac energy on you, but the Mac got Macked because your energy is set up in a very sincere type of way. That seeps through any facade. So if a person putting on Mac energy to go out here and kick it and play and just have a slew of people in their periphery or entourage or showing them some kind of attention, it's going to be a problem because your energy conflict. It's conflictual with it, and it will start to fight like your energy resonance with the spiritual partnership, because 7 - 2 will give you 5. That change is influenced by your presence. So if this person is wearing your energy in their spirit and they go around this type of energy, it'll jar you because you're connected to them, but it also jar they ass too. So they will feel the tussle, they will feel the conflict. And if they're not careful, they'll associate conflict and this change and all these abrupt happenings with you as if you're the cause, when really you're helping them step into their next leg or their next journey. This is hard because as a Virgo, you're kind of used as an instrument of the divine to catalyze somebody's fucking you remind me of Scorpio in the way that you can like spark somebody's transition into the next cycle. It's like they need certain access. They don't have certain access codes, and certain, sometimes they don't access it on their own. They'll be put in your life so you can guide them to the changes that they have to go through. And all along the way, you driving, they going through these changes. They getting their head knocked up against the gates and the mailboxes and everything you're passing by, because they were not ready for these changes. But your influence makes them have to go through it anyway. Whether you end up with this person or not, they had Mack ass energy for real. And you can show them better than you could tell them. So I still feel that you tried to speak on it with this change card. I'm getting, throat chakra vibes or whatever. But even the way that you communicate has changed. And so they got to go through the karmic completion. And in the event that they're not to go in the next leg of the journey with you, you got them to a certain point where now you can you don't have to take them further anymore. Like you can, okay, you go on, you have to keep going, but the divine is going to stop you many times along your way to help someone else. This is just the nature of things. So if you look at it like that, if you can look back at those circumstances from your present moment and look at all the times that you've helped somebody transition, and then they started going through these domino effect happenings in their life in the years that you have known them, you've actually helped them transition to a better understanding of love, a better understanding of spirit and energy, or just even to balance themselves, the quality of privacy versus secrecy. Or there's something that you have taught these motherfuckers. You've been in their life for a season. For a lot of people, you're that type of person that have been in their life for a season. So when it came to this person that you thought would be, longer, it can be. The karmic completion has to happen first. I really don't feel like you're going to do the return to Mac shit, but in the event that you do, make sure it's not in spite of somebody that really you just want to talk to and get an understanding with. Because if you use that to fuel your happenings when you go out here, like, he ain't giving me no attention, she ain't giving me no attention, I'm gonna go out here and talk to so and so because they want to talk to me, or I'm gonna be in the place to be and talk to whomever because it makes me feel good to get this attention, or it makes me feel good to be admired, or whatever. You're doing it from the wrong intent, and it's just not gonna pan out in the way that you feel it will. So please be careful with that, because we do have this spiritual partnership here. Everything you do has a spiritual repercussion to it, and a lot of times it'll be a physical effect in your everyday life. So you don't want this to fuck with your money, your stability, your comfort, none of that. What you got going is what you got going. So make sure your intentions are on the up and up, because you're being judged by not another person, but by spirit itself. Okay, so you got different qualifications, like not qualifications, you have different obligations. Okay, you have to have a little bit more responsibility. You can't do the Mac shit. You're teaching somebody else the value of not doing the Mac shit by just being you. So just keep doing that, because whomever they were with has their need to go out here and do this Mac shit until they ran into somebody who's naturally a motherfucking Mac. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to command or demand or trick anybody or play any fucking games. But the way you're carrying yourself is what makes you attractive to a lot of people. That is Mac energy. But you haven't been using it, and you're not going to use it, because I said we ain't using the Mac energy with malicious intent. Not to try to get over anybody. No. Get in your spirit and deal with that shit. Don't use somebody else's son or daughter to try to get over one. Don't get under somebody to get over somebody else. That's just not how you do it, okay? Don't play no fucking games like that. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. Clear communication. Say the word. Be clear. I don't know if that's ASL. I keep doing that. I don't even know what that means. It better not be a cuss word. But that's what I'm talking about. With the Mac shit. They ran into a Mac while they were on their Mac shit. But you weren't Macking trying to do them wrong. You was just being your natural self, right? It's innate. It's in you. It's not on you. You don't have to play as if you're a Mac. You already have that energy because of the way you carry yourself and the things that your energy does and influences. It leaves a lasting mark on people's memories and in their hearts and in their spirit about you. It cuts through a lot of illusions as well. Okay? So, honestly, you did some Mac shit in the bedroom. And you really took it there. You showed them. You can show them something very sweet and something very demure and very spiritual, right? But when the clothes come off and the lights go off, or the lights on, shit, see everything. You really showed them what you were made of. And they were starting to see, okay, well, damn. Like, they didn't intend to come across somebody who they would go there with or allow to take them there, especially if they're on their Mac shit and they're supposed to be rebounding. There's no way they would be trusting of anybody else to have them in a position like that. You understand? So there was something about you and about your ability to transform these energies with this 5 here. But it's giving me that Taurus Scorpio axis, where what they thought they knew, that status quo shit that had been this way up until now, has been changed. It's fucking changed. And they don't know how to undo it. They don't know if they want to undo it. They just know that they don't want that shit that they had. So this Mac energy is trying to be dimmed down or turned down. And this has been a way of life because of the past cycle that had been active. The ending, though, this karmic completion, now it's a 10 energy, which is a 1, but it's still amplified. It's like that, you know, when something happens and it's abrupt, or it's still fresh in the mind, it's still fresh in the energy, it's still fresh in your heart, and you still are, you know, one of these days you come up on it and you're like, damn, that was 2 months ago. Like, but when you're in it, you're in it. And the moment you're not in it, you don't remember, you don't realize that you're not in it anymore, that this is now old news. It's just like one day you wake up and you're in a different mood. You may just notice the feeling of feeling different or feeling better or having energy again. And every once in a while, it'll come back and you'll recall and be like, fuck, that shit had me down for a week or two, or had me, you know. That's the karmic completion. And it's still occurring because it is showing up here. It's not showing me that it's in the past. It's showing me that it's very much present now. Present day, present happening. This card is face down. It is the 10 of Cups. This card is face down. It is the Hangman. We have the 2 of Swords. Page of Wands. 9 of Cups. Okay, so when I get this 10 of Cups, sometimes it's a good 10 of Cups and sometimes it's not. And I feel like this was a woman that played with a masculine, and she thought she was cool, and she thought she was gravy, right? And it really took him, like, it was like, that's what sparked. She was using her power in such a way where, she was getting what she desired. She was getting what she wanted, 10 of Cups. But the masculine got triggered. There was something about it where it was like, damn, like there was a sense of like a complacency, and a person, when they have a spiritual desire for more, or they have a spiritual desire that, to have their needs met or whatever it may be, the universe will do this type of shit. So in walks Virgo. Then it's Hangman. You don't know what the fuck going on. Like I said, you just doing whatever you're doing, and you kind of get caught up in this energy. You were in a Hanged Man type of motion. What the fuck is that? It's like something down here that's wrapped up, or I almost thought it was a bundle of sage, but it looks like being bound or tied to something. And she's got ropes on her wrist, but anyway, it's almost like it reminds me of a voodoo doll. Like some, like, universe is playing with their fucking dolls and shit. And I saw this shit on an episode of Grimm, so this is what kind of made me, kind of makes me think about it. Like, it's like, okay, you sit here. Matter of fact, you just chill upside down. You just gonna sit your ass right there. And this person is, walking up. They happen on you. You don't know you're in Hangman mode, but about 4 or 5 years ago, you could have been in the Hangman mode, not knowing what the fuck was going on. But the shit was happening over an elongated period of time. You really just got, look, Virgo, when I say little by little, Spirit was introducing this energy into your environment before the Mack got turned on, right? So when the Mack was turned on with this person, you wouldn't be so repelled by them that you would run or omit them from your energy. This person was introduced to you. This person, little by little, like, became an energetic match towards where you were. This Hangman energy is not just you. They're in the card too. And it's like, damn. So here this motherfucker go macking. They're macking. But you macking too. Like, in a way. Look at her though. Look at her. Male or female. Like, it's just the physical action of walking away or leaving, that's a masculine thing. It's not a feminine trait. The masculine energy is going to move. This is what it does. The feminine energy receives. Okay, so this is kind of that tete-a-tete that happens between masculine and feminine energies. That's how you can flip reading. If it's not yours, it's not yours, and whatever else. And energy is fluid. And if I gotta say that shit every motherfucking reading, then I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not. Crosswatcher, I don't care. Don't tell me. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it. If it's not you, it's not you. Because I'm reading from a perspective of the person that was being used as an instrument of karma to help a person through a completion. And a change agent, a chaos agent. Because if shit ain't in order, my energy is going to stir up the shit that needs to be stirred up. Not intentionally. I don't have to come in here and make a ruckus. My energy is vibrating in a high frequency of truth. So it's going to influence that which is not true. It's going to influence that shit. If it's not Ace of Swords, that which is true, it cannot reside here. And if you're connecting with a person who has a foundation built on falsity, that foundation will crumble for them. And that's not something you even have to force. You being around brings these things to happen. So the Mack was macking, and you was shit. You were in the place. You were there. They stumbled on you from this hangman energy. What they were hung up on was now not an issue. While they were trying to Mack and bringing that forward, it turned into something else. It's Two of Swords. He's offering now. That's not Max. Don't Max? There's an arrogance to the term Mac anyway. They could be suave, they could be smooth, but they didn't expect you to be suave and smooth too. So it comes to this point. Page of Wands. And then it leads to this point. Nine of Cups. And shit is mutual. It's like, wait a minute. Karmic completion. Oh, I didn't even know this. The fuck? Karmic completion? When I said that I didn't feel that this was a good 10 of Cups, this is what I mean. This is what the fuck had to go. This shit was not as, he's physically walking away, having to. And the spiritual partnership? It's a 9. Like this 9 of Cups. Damn. What advice do I have here? Let me cut the deck. Wow. Ain't nothing you can really do because there's still they really feel like it's over with. Honestly. The 2 energy, the 2 of Swords that was there, it's like they really feel like something is over. What they're experiencing is the karmic completion, and they feel, because sometimes it does happen where you're a part of the karmic completion, and when the karma is completed, you no longer feel any kind of resonance with that person, and you don't feel like you even have a tie or need to go back and do anything. Sometimes you are like a part of the next stage. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you have been in these situations to influence the change agent, the chaos agent, right? And to help this person who spiritually is connected to you, whether you knew that they were going to be connected to you spiritually or not, there's something about the lessons that you teach, the energy, the vibration that you hold, that helps them complete certain karmic patterns just by your influence. And you may see that even if a person goes out, somebody you're connected to goes out and deals with another person, it doesn't last. And then they're just completely done with that other person. And it's like, okay, well, it took you years to even end it. But why? Why did it take so long? Because your influence wasn't there. So the moment your influence was there, it made this person go from 2 of Swords to 2 of Cups. They started to get very fucking clear of what they really wanted to feel and what it really was. 9 of Cups and this 10 of Cups are completely different in this deck. Just looking at it, the closeness, the intimacy, the vulnerability, it's different. So they're understanding what is and what it isn't and what it's supposed to be. This is what your influence has done. You have that archetype. You have that type of influence. You have that type of power, right? And they've gone through many, many bouts of obsession and trying to figure out and speak on what they can't fucking explain. And it's okay, it's okay. But I think still there's an energy of pain associated with not only what they already went through, but almost feeling like because you came in before the cycle was completely over, that you may be a part of the cycle. They might not even know shit about a cycle. But to fathom what happened to them, happening to them by you, to turn back on that Mack energy. Even though they attracted your Mack energy and you attracted their Mack energy, you weren't macking each other and trying to do each other wrong. This Page of Wands here is very much mutual. So is this Nine of Cups, Two of Cups, and the World. Definitely with this Ace of Swords. But the reason why it's also relevant is because the King and Queen of Swords is here. And this is to people who are they're no longer together. They're no longer the it to each other. So it's fine. The Mack got macked, but you weren't doing it to harm them. So if they do come back, they're expecting to be almost done like they're almost expecting to be done wrong. They know they was macking. They know they was in a position where they were getting to know you because someone else was either rejecting them or putting them in the mood to prove to themselves they still got it, that they are attractive. You know what I'm saying? It could have been communication that was harsh and you were straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? King and Queen of Swords can verbally assault each other all day and really cause some damage. But I feel that your influence, it may not have spoke verbally. Your energy spoke for itself. And that's what makes it different. Damn, Virgo. The karma completion is here. So when in terms of your karma and stuff like that, if this person has to do with your karmic cycle, I think they came in while you were finishing a karmic cycle with someone else. But it wasn't like the nail wasn't in the coffin yet. So there was no real finality before this thing began. And much likewise, that other person hadn't put that final nail in the coffin either. That death stage lasted for a very long time. Even when it was over, it wasn't over. And so this now, like, you can finally, like, clear it out. You know, and sometimes you have to keep records on file for 5 years when it comes to like legal documents, taxes, 5-6 years, 2 to 6 years. You have to keep shit on file, on record, just in case you have to go back and look at it, or you get audited or anything like that. And we do spiritual audits all the time, or they relate to shit that we have going on. Our past does help us have that foresight. So I feel like now it's time to go ahead and bury it and cover it on up, and just is finally completed. So I don't feel like you and this person could be done. You could be, but I don't feel like it was any finality either. So even if you seem to be a part of that karmic completion from the last cycle that they were actually in, your natural beginning has not even begun. That was an intro. That was a prelude. Fuck. So are you ready? Because if you're still living in that past cycle, emotionally or spiritually trying to align with that past cycle and not understand the importance of it being an instrument of change. Like, you really have to know it. This shit is matching my fucking shirt today, that blue. But if you have to understand that you catalyzed something, that you were a catalyst to get reactions going, chain reactions going, and it did take some time. It took a couple years. If you want to begin a cycle with this person, sure, but do so as if it's a new experience. If you're completely finished and done, the pain has to die too. Otherwise, you'll be in the return of the Mack energy, and it could cause karmic repercussions in your newest cycle with someone new, because you'll be you'll be doing exactly what that last person was doing, leaving a situation but it not being finalized and not being completely done, and trying to enter in something new, and it feels good on you and you're getting your glow back and stuff like this, but lingering in your mind is this person that you're doing it in spite of. So please be aware, be careful. I had to take my time with this one because this was I didn't want you to get the wrong idea. If you I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.